Hi, Carolyn. Thank you for joining me today. So, we have about 10 minutes, and I want to make sure we have enough time to address health behavior that's important to you. And we're going to work on any behavior that you want to focus on. So, let's dive right in. Go ahead and tell me a behavior that you would like to focus on.
I would like to prepare more food at home and eat at home more, along with eating more fresh produce.
Okay. So, I hear two things actually in that you want to eat more fresh produce, but really it's about preparing food at home, which I assume means less meals eating out. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me a little bit more about why you want to do that. Why is that important to you?
There's a few reasons. Money. I'm spending a lot of money eating out. I also tend to interrupt my eating habits and patterns with, a really large meal one time during the day and then skipping other meals or um, eating too frequently. And I also feel like when I do try and go grocery shopping and buy fresh food, I don't use it and waste it. So
Okay,
that's
so
another
it sounds like
factor.
you actually have a few different challenges there. One, you're spending more money by eating out. Two, I'm imagining you're a working professional, like most of us, and so it can be hard to plan around that. And although maybe eating out is sometimes more convenient, you can't always control the type of food you're getting, or you may just skip a meal. And then also one of the challenges you have when you do cook at home is being able to use all that produce and feeling like you don't want to waste it, but if you don't have time to cook, then you're kind of stuck in a hard place. Does that all
Mhm.
sound correct?
Mhm. Yes, exactly.
Okay. So, how, I guess on a scale of 1 to 10, how important to you is it right now for you to start making more of these meals at home?
I think probably a 6
Okay. Why a 6 and not a 1?
because I am more motivated to um, save the money right now to be eating at home. And it just, even if I'm grocery shopping and spending a good chunk of money there, it's definitely going to be less than every lunch and dinner out.
Right. Yeah,
So,
especially in a city like San Francisco that's very expensive.
yes.
So, maybe you're feeling like health is not the number one reason for you. If you do eat out, you feel able to find some healthy options. So that's not really what's motivating this right now. It's more about saving the money. So one, you're saving money by not eating out because it's less expensive, but also you want to save money by not buying a bunch of groceries and then having to throw them away. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So I know you mentioned again the groceries. Sometimes you don't have time, so you end up throwing them away. But what else gets in the way for you right now, or what else is hard about cooking more meals at home?
I time, right? Just a schedule that's not doesn't have it has a routine but not much. I might work out one night or I might go out one night, and so if I've kind of shopped for the week and planned for meals, think, oh, I thought I was going to make this or eat this by Thursday, and it doesn't happen. So it gets wasted.
Okay, so it sounds like you're very busy. So like a lot of us, time is always an issue. There's never enough.
Yeah.
um, so what do you think would make that 6 go to an 8 or a 9? What do you think would make it more important to you, and then you would make more time for yourself to prepare these meals?
I think it is a factor at this point, but like you said, it's not maybe as important right now in this moment is health and um, kind of like eating too much when I go out to eat. The portions are larger, or maybe I am having something that's richer at a restaurant versus if I were to have something lighter and a smaller portion at home. So if I were a little bit more motivated right now to, lose some weight or feel healthier and cleaner, I think it would definitely be more of an 8 or 9 on the scale.
Okay. So do you think would you be able to carve out time during the week that you just focus to meal preparation? A lot of people do that on weekend days. It sounds like the cost is still the main thing for you, and although maybe you are wanting to be healthy, like most people are, that's not really the focus. So if it's more about time and money, do you feel like you have the time to set aside on weekends?
Yes. What I think is hard is I will go out, I will grocery shop on the weekends, but um, I tend to go shopping and buy things that are snacks or easy food to prepare, like a hummus and carrots or um, a lot of that kind of food that's not, doesn't need that much preparation. And then that's what I end up wasting. So I don't know if it would be better to kind of plan for actual meals that I can make and put together, or continue with getting those snacks and just be better about eating them. But it doesn't really. I don't. Honestly, I don't feel like the meal prep is a realistic thing for me at this point in my life.
Okay, so it sounds like you just really don't have time or don't want to spend the time doing that, which is totally
Right.
okay. It's your life. So what if you are again, the focus is money and making sure you're, I guess, eating more consistently so you're not overeating maybe those meals.
Mm-hmm.
What are some things that you could do to make it so you're not wasting those snack foods, as you say, or maybe bringing them more to work? Or how do you think you could introduce those as meals rather than foods that are forgotten?
Um, I think just being better about, thinking like, oh, I'm more organized in what I've shopped for and I know I have like these three salads for lunch and that's my plan for the week. And kind of maybe doing a little bit better grocery shopping with that in mind. Of, okay, if I'm not going to cook something for dinner, at least I know these different foods that I'm getting for this specific lunch or dinner, and
Yeah,
organizing that.
I think that's a great idea. Actually, you can prepare certain foods that can be used in multiple meals, and so then you don't have the time as though you're feeling like you have to prepare 3 meals from scratch and they're all different every
Mm-hmm.
single day. You can prepare something that can be used in a lunch and a dinner, like whole grains or like greens or sweet potatoes or meat that can be used in both meals. So maybe it's not a lot of time spent preparing the food, but just a little bit of time researching what foods you could buy that can be used across multiple
Mm-hmm.
meals. Does that feel more realistic?
Mm-hmm. It does, especially with things like you mentioned, sweet potato would be a great idea because I would do that for any meal. Or, like avocados, I always like to have. That's an option all the time. Um, there's things like last week I made a bunch of hard boiled eggs and thought this will be great for, to have in the morning or a snack or egg salad, kind of thinking I'll do this for a bunch of meals. And I just, right, they don't get eaten. So I think it's still like that routine of this is what I'm having for breakfast every day this week. And let's just see,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. I mean, routines are really hard to change. There's some research that shows that if you can do something consistently for 3 weeks, it's easier to start to form a habit around that.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we start to think about setting a goal around you starting with a week, like you say, just being consistent with a certain number of meals that you want to prepare at home. It's okay if you miss one, but setting a target for yourself so it feels more real.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to work towards. So, assuming we want to end today by setting that goal, what do you think you need to do uh, today or tomorrow to help you make that change?
Mm. So I think it's kind of like me unpacking for a trip, right? I just throw everything in there. So I think if I go to Trader Joe's, for example, and think like, okay, Monday lunch, Monday dinner, I know I'm going to have this. And even if I'm not getting ingredients, a bunch of things to go in a salad, like one of their prepared salads, just to start to kind of have a routine and know in my mind what I'm getting to eat for each meal. And then also trying more of a routine, like, for example, the hard-boiled eggs, and just thinking, like, I'm having one of these a day, whatever I do with it. I already know that that's the option.
I think that's a great idea, because I think that also eliminates all the choice for you if you just set a plan out up front and say, on this day or on this meal, this is what I'm going to have.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's less time or stress creating a recipe from scratch on that day. And again, that reinforces that habit that you want to start. It's reinforcing the habit of buying the groceries instead of eating out, and then you're not left, at work thinking about where should I go for lunch, what should I do for dinner, because you've already decided that ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a really great option. How do you feel about trying to set that as a goal? Let's say for 3 times the next week.
I think it's great. I can do it. I think also, as you said that, I was thinking, when I've grocery shopped on Sunday, I know, oh, I just spent $200 on this. It definitely, even the start of that helps me think, well, I'm not going to go out this week because I know I just spent all this money on groceries and I have those. Right. So where I say I don't want to make the time to meal prep, even just making the time to like do the grocery shopping, I know I'm doing that, and then that holds me more accountable for the week.
Yeah. And I think, again, the goal is to start small here, right? So you don't have to take on everything and change everything overnight. So just bringing that awareness of how much you're spending on groceries. It sounds, again, coming back, cost is the most important thing to you, and wanting just to save some extra money right now. Mm-hmm. But if you see a week or two start to build up where you're starting to save that money, it's going to make you more confident in making those meals at home. It's going to feel more positive to save the money and get the healthy food that you want. And you're not worried each day about what should I eat, or I'm skipping a meal, right. Or, oh shoot, I skipped breakfast, now I have to go eat out at lunch.
Right.
So I think that's a great plan. So I think if you can commit to that, let's try 3 meals in this next week. And today's Wednesday, so grocery shopping this weekend, and then you can plan on 3 meals the following week. And then I'd say in 2 weeks, let's do a check-in and see how things are going.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Okay. It's great. It helps just to talk it through. Thank you.
Great. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.